baby. We got to win this one.
Okay. Out the jump. Let's go. Let's go, man. Let's go. Here we go.
It's about to be a lit day today.
Hey, let's get back to our swagger. Come on.
All of them get the dough down. They get the dough down.
Okay, meet at the quarterback.
Welcome inside the TCO studios for another edition of the Audible presented by 3M. My name is Gabe Henderson. Today I have the special privilege and honor of being joined by Minnesota Vikings safeties Cam Bynum and Josh Metellus, who had the game-sealing interception against the Detroit Lions.
Goff, he'll hurl it up. Josh again, and he caught this one. Yes, he did. Josh Metellus's first National Football League interception has daggered the Detroit Lions.
Josh, has your phone stopped ringing yet? 'Cause I'm sure it went crazy.
Not yet.
Okay.
Not yet. You know, I mean, this is my third year in the league. You know, people have been waiting to see me play defense for a while now. So, you know, a lot of people just was waiting to send those texts for years now. So I'm still getting them.
Okay.
They're dying down a little bit, though. You know,
Okay.
I think by the time we get to London, they should be gone.
Cam, you had a similar experience last year.
Right.
I think week 9, Baltimore.
Lamar back to pass, whips one over the middle, and there's what a catch by the Minnesota Vikings. Cam Bynum, the rookie, to the 30, 25-20. Cam Bynum. He comes up with his first National Football League interception, and bad becomes worse for these Baltimore Ravens.
Yeah.
What was that feeling like when you got in the locker room?
Crazy. We were both talking about it, how like our first game, first play playing defense, that was our first big play we've ever made. So it was crazy. So
it was great.
When I got back to the locker room then, I know I was just like, dang, did this really happen? Because it happened in the first half. So I came back in the locker room and was like, I just got a pick. Pretty crazy. So I know the same thing happened with him, and his was a game winner.
Yeah,
so that's
yeah.
bigger. Like I wasn't able to fully enjoy mine because we lost.
Yeah.
So Josh having his first pick and a game winner, I can only imagine that feeling.
Yeah.
That's how you do it.
It didn't hit me until maybe like next morning.
Really?
Yeah, like I really, I was like,
I got a pick.
I'm like, I walked into the building and I'm like, oh yeah, I really caught a pick. I'm like, I really filled the game. Like that's crazy.
Man, that's like a dream come true. And that's something that I want to talk about next segment. But for starters, we like to start this thing off with an icebreaker. So, of course, you guys see two cards in front of you. We like to call this game Two Truths and a Lie. So I think Cam is shaking his head like he's played it before.
I played it before.
You played it before too?
Every icebreaker in school, like first day of school.
All right, we're like 5th grade here. So this is like arts and crafts. So Cam, we'll start with you. We'll have you. No, Josh. You know what? We'll start with you.
Do I read my
We'll have
card?
you read your card, and then Cam, it's up to you to figure out which 2 sentences are true and which one is a lie.
All right.
So read it out for our radio audience, Josh, if you don't mind.
A, ever since I was a kid, I have preferred Marvel over Disney. B, while at Michigan, I lined up at outside linebacker, both safety spots, outside corner, nickel, and cornerback. Well, I mean, same thing. C, I have 1-year-old son middle name 6.
That's true. I know that.
Okay.
You've never played corner, or number 2's a lie. Wait, no, you're a Disney guy. You go to Disneyland every break.
Is that true?
Oh, yeah.
You go to
pretty
Disney?
much.
So number 1's a lie.
There you go. There you
Come
go.
on now.
Okay.
So you got to explain. I didn't know you went to Disney every break.
Yeah, my wife obsessed with Disney, and I'm Marvel, Disney, all of that. I'm a big fan.
I see him.
Really?
I live in SoCal, and he
big
goes to
fan.
Disney more than me.
So have you been to Disneyland in Cali before?
My first time going was my first NFL offseason. That was my first time going to Disneyland, like actual Disneyland. I've been to Disney World multiple times, but Disneyland, my first 2 years ago,
Okay.
2021.
Cam
That was
shaking
a year ago.
I used to go to Disneyland every day. I had a pass, so I literally go by myself, like
Really?
2-3 days a week. 'Cause I had a pass. So
I lined
live
up
20
everywhere,
minutes
though.
away from there. So
Really?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Disney's a way of life for me.
Describe 6, your son's middle name 6.
So my wife, growing up, she played soccer. She was really good. All the sports she played, but her nickname was 6.
Okay.
And I mean, he's named Joshua Metellus, but he's not a junior because you know we weren't really fans of like junior.
Okay.
So we switched up his middle name and like gave it like part hers too. You know, so it's like he has both of our names in a way, and it's cool. Like his middle name 6 spelled SYX. Thought it was really cool.
Man, I was like on Urban Dictionary looking this thing up, and 6 SYX There is a definition for
There
that.
is?
It's 6 is a person whose beauty knows no bounds, fearless, challenging norms without breaking a sweat.
That's him.
That's him?
That's him. That's him. That's him.
That's all right.
That makes sense. All right.
That's him.
Cam, it's on you now.
Makes sense.
That's dope.
That makes sense.
That's dope.
I traveled to over 5 countries this offseason. I was high school teammates with Eric Kendricks in California. I wore number 24 since I was in 5th grade because Kobe Bryant was my role model.
I'm going to go B.
Yeah, that's way too easy.
Because I know for a fact he went to high school with Troy. So that's
where they try to get you.
That's where they tried to get me. At first I'm like, oh yeah, he did. I'm like, oh, hold on. They tried to get me. Yeah.
That's the thing. It's all about the key words. And Troy, so how many years did you and Troy play together?
So I've known Troy since middle school. I was in 6th grade.
Whoa.
Went to the same middle school.
Really?
Yeah.
Same middle school?
Same middle school.
Dang.
Then we did freshman, sophomore, and then he transferred to a different school, our rival school.
Oh, wow.
And after that, but we were on the same freshman team, same JV team when because I was trash. So me and him were like the JV guys.
He said he was number 99 on
Yeah,
JV
he was
his
number
sophomore
99.
year. That's crazy.
I had to pay somebody to get number 24,
Yeah.
because I wasn't getting playing time. I was 5th string on JV.
Wow.
So me and Troy, we still joke about it, like, wow, the JV team made it to the NFL.
The thing about me is sophomore year of high school, we was on JV.
So
Wow.
That's
I've known
crazy.
Troy. I've been playing.
Relentless.
So what's your earliest memory? Is your earliest football memory playing with Troy?
Pretty much. 'Cause
That's
his family,
6th
his
grade.
dad was a big-time coach there. All his brothers, they played through our same junior All-American. His brother made it to league, so everybody's freaking out. Oh, we got an NFL guy in the city. Like it was big. So everybody, Troy's family is huge. There's a bunch of boys in the family, and they all play ball. So
I want to go back to the other question of you traveling to 9 countries this offseason.
Yeah.
Guatemala. You can name them all. Like,
Everywhere.
what thrill do you get out of traveling so much in the offseason?
everything. So that's always been a dream of mine. Finally made it to the league and had a real off season. Because college, we still got school, still got off season workouts. This is fake off season. So now that we actually had time off, I'm like, I need to go see the world. So I saved as much money as I can. Didn't buy any outfits during the year. I was like, okay, I'm buying plane tickets just everywhere. So my mom and I, we just went everywhere. So that's always been my bucket list.
Man, I love your quote you put on Instagram when you posted. You posted about your trips. You said, don't spend money on designer, spend it on traveling the world.
You got it, you can buy the designer, but I ain't got it yet. I'm still 2nd year, so I
he's
say
spending on stuff
no
that's gonna
outfits.
last.
Right.
Outfits,
Stuff that's gonna last.
all on experiences. So that's probably the best thing I've done so far is travel.
Man, we got a few minutes left in this segment. Cam, and then I'm going to go to you, Josh. Cam, what is your story for people who don't know? I know I was reading that you were 5'8", 160 heading into your junior year of high school, and then you just basically just got into a routine of wanting to get better. But for fans who don't know who you are, like, can you give them an insight, some insight?
Yeah, that 5'8", 160 is probably a lie. I was probably like 140 at the time.
Okay.
I was tiny. It was bad, but I finally found a coach that started teaching me about football, being a technician, because I was still not the fastest guy, still not the biggest. I never really had the crazy twitch like most superior athletes have, so I had to find a coach that teach you the technique. So yeah, I didn't run fast, but nobody was beating me deep because I would stay square, play football right. So that's what really built me. So once I was able to understand the game and me playing corner, it was I kind of understood it. Like, okay, now all I have to do is stay square for a few seconds, stay on top of the receiver for a few seconds, ball's not coming my way. So I understood that, was able to take that all through college and finally made it. And it was just a matter of finding a coach that really just taught me the technique, just being a technician.
My similar story. I had a coach. I played running back. I played offense my whole entire life.
Oh, wow.
And up until I got to college. But I had a coach in high school who he played in the league. His son was on our team too. And he just I don't know, I wasn't always the most athletic guy. Even though I had the confidence I was, I knew I wasn't, realistically. So I always had to be a step ahead mentally. And I think that's where I gained my competitive edge. Mentally, I was always on it. I was always a step ahead. For some reason, I always felt like I could see stuff before they happened. So, you know, that was my competitive edge. You know, that just kept pushing me through, doing everything right, technique-wise, like being like on the key details of football. You know, some guys can just go out there and play, but like, you know, I got to be on it 100%, you know, and I think that building that routine throughout my whole entire life, that just helped me get to this point.
I feel like the competition from where you guys are probably helped too, right?
Too, for sure.
Like
for
Cali
sure.
and Florida.
Yeah, for sure.
2 of the best.
100%.
Add Texas in there, but
Yeah.
that made everything, like, especially us. I know everybody we play got a Florida kid.
That's
Yeah,
crazy.
yeah.
Everywhere we go against, all got a Cali
Either somebody
kid
from
somewhere.
Cali or Florida or Texas.
That's crazy.
everywhere.
And they're
Everywhere.
the best players.
I was so NFL put out a survey last year at the end of 2021, and Florida, Texas, and Cali had the highest 3. I had like, the most players out of that state on NFL teams.
I'm not surprised.
So it has to be something in the water. I'm
not surprised, not one bit.
Like
It's the weather.
Yeah, it's the weather. It's
the weather.
Yeah, it's the weather. It's the Especially for them, they got to play in a humid.
Yeah, we playing year-round, non-stop football.
Really?
It was crazy. The
Year-round.
joint practice with the Niners, 4 of the players on that field were from my high school. We were all at the same time, 4 of us.
Yeah, I got 4 people in my high school in the league too.
That's crazy.
Well, my best friends too. Like we happen to all be best friends, but like we all made it to the league.
Devin Bush
Crazy.
was one, right?
Devin Bush won. We got Fayon Hicks. He played for the Broncos. We have a free agent. He was just on the Raiders, Stanford Samuels. And then we have another free agent, Ja'Cory Pearson. He was with the Giants. He just got released. But we're around. We're definitely around.
Is there a sense of pride knowing that like, hey, there's people from your high school that fulfilled their dreams?
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
You guys in public school?
Yeah, public
Same
school
with us.
too.
Wow.
Public school, like, okay, the Boscos in modern days, like the big name schools, but the fact that like our public schools have more than these big, like what, St. Thomas?
Yeah, St. Thomas Aquinas, American Heritage. We right there with them.
Right there with the big name schools, and for me, we were beating them in the playoffs.
Yeah, we won
Bosco,
state
modern
championship.
days,
We
so,
went from not even being ranked when I got to high school to by my senior year going into our senior year max preps, we was top 10 team in the country.
Yeah.
Now look at
Public
y'all.
school.
Now look at y'all.
And now look.
Y'all made it.
All right, let's talk more about the story of both of you guys being Minnesota Vikings after the break, right here on the Audible, presented by 3M. We're back. This is the Audible presented by 3M. My name is Gabe Henderson. I'm alongside Josh Metellus, Cam Bynum. Fellas, we started the first segment talking about your first career interceptions. I need both of you guys just to walk me through that moment when you found out you were starting, because clearly, I know, Cam, for you didn't find out until minutes before, and Josh, you didn't find out until minutes before also. So describe that feeling, that emotion.
One thing, we pride ourselves in practicing, so it wasn't like a big shock when they did tell us, because we practice as if we're starters. Like for me, it was my rookie season, so I really had not compared to now, I didn't have a lot of knowledge, especially me. I was new to playing safety, so there's still so much learning to do. But going through practice, I played week 9, I think it was. So I had 8 weeks to really sit back and watch Harry, watch X, and be able to learn. So it wasn't a big shock, and the confidence is there just because the way we practice and the way we treat it, and whatever rep you get, you're acting like a starter. So that was the mentality there. But it was still a shock, like as far as like knowing like, wow, I'm about to start an NFL game. This is crazy. Like more in a cool sense than nervous, because confidence is always there. But it's just like, wow, this has been my dream. So
yeah, same thing. You know, going into the week last week, we knew Harrison would be out, so it was just me and Lou taking the reps. I really didn't know what was going on. I don't even think, you know, nobody knew. You know, it was just kind of, you know, a field thing. I mean, I just every week, like he said, like we just take practice serious. Like we always on it. Like if I'm not in, I'm watching him and let him know, you know, asking questions, you know, keep him on his toes. Same thing, vice versa. So, you know, we always make sure that, you know, next man up is gonna be able to get the job done. And I think, you know, that alone just gave it confidence, you know, going into the game, even though it's first time starting, it was still a confidence that you knew, like, all right, I prepared right, you know, all I got to do is not psych myself out, and I should be able to play well and, you know, help the team. So
Is it big shoes to fill when you're, you know, replacing a guy in Harrison Smith who's probably going to be a Hall of Famer someday?
Yeah, it's big shoes because the stuff he does, a lot of stuff he does goes unnoticed, you know, especially the people who don't know what we're doing exactly. But yeah, he's a big piece to our defense, and you know, not having him and having to fill those shoes, you know, it's a little bit of pressure. But then again, you know, we always picking his brain, you know, about football stuff. He's giving us little tidbits, so you know, it's kind of like we're in a sense, you know, like we're a part of him, you know, when we're out there on the field. So it wasn't too crazy.
Cam, I know, you know, now you're starting beside Harrison. You 2020 Special Teams Player of the Year. You have like carved out a role for yourself on this Special Teams unit that, to me, is exciting to see somebody like taking ownership, both you guys taking ownership in your role. What has that process been like to get to this point of taking ownership in your current roles now?
I mean, I can say for me, especially coming in, I was a 6th-round draft pick. You know, later on, I knew I had to earn my mark on the team, and you know, special teams was just a way for me to get out on the field. And you know, and if I'm on the field, you know, I always tell myself, if I'm on the field, I'm gonna make plays. If I'm out there, I'm leading that group, and I'm trying to take us to the promised land.
And just realizing the process, just through it. It's rare that anybody comes in starting right away, and especially 6th round. I was 4th round. We had to fight for our spot on the team at the end of the day. So
100%.
You can't, obviously you expect yourself to separate, but at the end of the day, if you're not a starter day one, you have to prepare as if knowing you're gonna have some type of role in the team and expecting to have a role. So coming in, like for me, I had to do a whole year of special teams, and that's more of a dogfight than playing defense. So a lot of people don't realize that, but that special teams is maybe harder than playing defense, physically for sure. So just realizing any role and taking, like I said, taking everything serious. Every time you're on the field, you got to fight. So whether you're starting on defense, starting on all the special teams, everything you got to earn a role and keep it and do it well.
Man, now that role and that road leads us to London. Have you guys envisioned what life overseas, playing football overseas would be like? Cam, I know your true freshman year, you guys played in Australia.
Yeah.
Like, have you pictured the moment yet on Sunday?
I'm just thinking 2 free trips overseas. No, I'm kidding. No, but it's crazy. I think it's super good for football, just the game of football, being able to play overseas places. Like for me, when I traveled this season, and not a lot of people know what American football is, especially when I would go to the Philippines. Everything is all basketball, everything's all boxing. Even other countries like UK, I'm glad we're able to play like American football out there and bring the game to be worldwide and just make it more known. So I'm excited just for the game of football overall moving forward.
Same thing. In college, Coach Harbaugh did a great job of taking us overseas. So I played after my freshman year in college, we went to Rome and we practiced out there and we had like a little scrimmage out there and we had the people come out and watch us. So like that was crazy. That was like my first experience of playing overseas. We didn't play an actual game, so it'd be cool to play an actual game. But yeah, it's cool being out there and, you know, experiencing new stuff and giving people something new to experience too.
In Rome?
Yeah, we were in Rome. It was lit.
That's tight.
Oh, because you went to Rome this offseason, right?
Yeah, I did.
Like I've been to
all of it lit. It was lit.
Wow. So the fact that you guys, you know, can use your gifts to, you know, I mean, this is a platform, right? Like, you know, football is a sport, but it's a platform to be able to impact other people's lives. Like, how does that all go into your mindset of, you know, taking the game a step further?
I just think it gives people, especially kids, another avenue to do something with their free time. So like get kids off the streets, if you want to say, giving them something else to work towards, more goals to do versus just these certain sports. Okay, add one more thing for somebody to fall in love with.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, I think a big part of for all of us is just like our impact and, you know, however we can impact kids. You know, kids look at us, you know, they see somebody and, you know, we just want to do the right things, you know, steer them in the right direction so that way, you know, that later down in the road they can look back and say, yeah, you know, this guy, you know, helped me do this, or, you know, this game, not even guy, it could be the game itself, you know, this game helped me lead to the path where I got a scholarship, or, you know, I'm playing with my friends, you know, having a good time. So, you know, any way we can impact, I think it helps.
One thing that's going to help on Sunday is a win, right?
Yep.
That helps the record.
That's the only reason we're there.
Yeah,
all this traveling stuff is cool, but if we don't come out with the win, nothing's satisfying.
So what stands out on film? I don't want to get like too in depth and too details on football, but like what stands out on film about this Saints team, because they're out there also. This is an experience for them.
I would say, just how a lot of guys on their team has had a lot of success. There's a lot of veterans on that team. Mm-hmm. So, just going against a team, who knows what it's like to win, is going to challenge us, whoever wants it more, that's what it's going to come down to. A lot of scheme and everything, you can say they're going to do this or we're going to do this, but it's going to come down to who wants it more, especially being in a setting like we're going to be in. It's going to come down who wants it more.
I love that. And I'm just, honestly, I'm looking forward to seeing like what the trash talk is going to be like. Because I know, Cam, I know you talk, a lot of people don't know, but Cam, you talk trash. I know it's
I say little, it's friendly trash.
All right, who's the best trash talker in the DB room?
Chris Boyd.
Chris Boyd.
Really?
He's
Chris
wild.
Boyd.
Chris is crazy.
Chris Boyd.
Okay.
Sure.
So how would you describe him and like I guess everyone else in the room as far as like?
See, for me, I'll say something goofy like little boy, like if I run somebody over, but Chris would demean your whole personality.
Yeah.
It make you rethink like.
Yeah.
Harry be talking, but people don't.
Subtle. He's subtle.
He be saying subtle stuff.
Harrison Smith?
Watch the TV copy
He's
last
subtle.
year against the Niners. It's hilarious.
He's subtle.
Really?
You'll see.
So Harry's out there getting busy.
Harry talks to coaches.
That's like
Harry will go to their sideline and say something. Say something real subtle, like a little small thing.
So like, what can we expect from this DB room on Sunday? Because like
energy, passion, playmaking, everything you need from a DB, we gonna
and
be
at the
able
end
to
of the day, doing our job.
Doing our job.
That's the main thing.
That's the main thing.
And nothing else matters if we're not doing our job and strapping up. So once we do that, then we can have even more fun.
My last question for both of you guys is, going into this game, we're 2-1. We got some energy, we got some momentum. How can we use that to get another win on Sunday?
I would say just use that momentum, like feed off each other. That game brought us closer as a team. We're a connected group, and, we just got even more connected. So we just got to keep feeding off each other, leaning on each other when times get tough, or when things go right, leaning on each other, knowing that we're going to do our job, and then the wins just stack and pile up.
Cam, on you.
I would say the same thing. Just trust it and just remember the feeling of a win and remember the feeling of a loss. Mm-hmm. Learn from all your losses and use every single thing. Okay, how'd we win? Let's do it again, but even better. So that's the biggest thing.
Winning is contagious, whether it's in America or in the UK or wherever in the world. So, fellas, I appreciate your time today. Like this is clutch. Just having both of you guys on here. I know you guys are looking forward to lining just like we are. So thank you again.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
For Cam Bynum, Josh Metellus, my name is Gabe Henderson. Thank you again for tuning into another edition of the Audible presented by 3M.